Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and do we have any items from the public? Any items from the public? Okay. We need approval of agenda, but we also need a motion to approve the agenda with an amended to reflect the removal of Jamie Lima from the State Director of Marshall University, so.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the agenda and also approve the change in the agenda, the amending agenda for the removal of Jamie Lima from the State Director of Marshall University and from the June Harless Center. Budget presentation.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Honorable Larry Hess, Board of Review and Equalization, session number 2. How you doing?
I'm good. Let's go.
Good. Enjoying the heat wave.
It got above.
I was riding around with my window down in my vehicle yesterday. It felt so good.
It got above freezing.
Yeah, first time in 9 days, 10 days actually, yeah.
Okay, we had nobody set up to come in to appeal today so far. So we'll just be on standby. But I did want to tell you about one. I have another gentleman that wrote an appeal to the Office of Tax Appeals. But I think I can take care of this. We got 2 hanging down there now, but we're working on those. But
The 2 you mentioned the last time?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got conference calls coming up on those, but this one, this guy bought a new house last year, and it wasn't done July 1, so it didn't show up on this year's tax bill, but the lot was there July 1, so it showed up as a vacant lot for 26. And he didn't understand any of that. I'm going to give him a call. I think I can take care of this without too much problem. He just doesn't understand why. He got a letter, 10% increase letter, because it wouldn't care of him because it was a brand new assessment. It wasn't on the tax tickets people. But other than that, we have nobody for today so far, and we'll just, like I say, just be on standby. If you got
We
anybody
consider that a
coming in,
good thing, right?
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting calls. I mean, you know, but the guys take care of them as they come in. They satisfy them, and it keeps everybody out of here.
I got my 3 or 4 letters, so.
You did? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unless you have any other thing you need to talk about or whatever, but we'll just be on standby and just holler if you get somebody. And
We'll do that. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good.
Are you Katie? Are you?
Yeah.
I thought you might be, since you weren't here from the public. So. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You're 2:10, but we'll take you early if you're ready to roll. And you represent, you pronounce it EPEC?
Epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic.
Good job. Yeah.
Wait a minute. My daughter works for Epic.
Who's your daughter?
Leah Daniel.
Oh, other Epic. She works
I was
for
going to say
early
it's a different Epic.
Head Start. Yeah.
IC versus EC.
It's
Yeah.
IC.
Yeah.
So that's what threw me off. I didn't know there was an EC Epic. I just knew there was an IC Epic.
Yeah. You want to hear the worst news? We changed our name the same year. So we picked the same acronym the
Yeah.
same year.
Yeah.
And I train there sometimes for them. And I
Oh.
went to a training and I was like, all right, spoiler, I'm going to tell you guys our new name. And I tell them, and I'm like, and the abbreviation is Epic. And they're like, so.
Hey, let's call it EPEC. It'd be simple.
There you go.
We can distinguish between the two. So.
Yeah, so I brought you some handouts. I know I could have sent them early, but of course I didn't. It's just 2 pages if you want to take it.
Thank you.
So basically, we provide services to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and human trafficking. We operate in Berkeley, Morgan, and Jefferson, but our shelter and one of our offices is here in Martinsburg. The shelter being obviously the most important item to be in Martinsburg. So it houses 16 people. It's been full every single night since 2017, and we have 47 people on the wait list.
Well, you say that again, how many you have in there?
We can fit 16 at a time.
16.
Yep, and we
Okay.
have been full every single night since 2017. We average about 6,000 shelter nights a year. So we're talking unique. We do lots and lots and lots of other things outside of the shelter, but my ask to you this year is unique to the shelter. So if you have never been there, number one, you're welcome to come tour it. I'll give you my email. You probably have my email in the application. We can set that up if you want to see what it's like. But it has been in the same place now for almost 50 years. We're going to have some sort of party for the 50th. I haven't decided what that is yet. But it's been there for 50 years. We opened it in 1978, and it is old. It's very old.
And where is it exactly?
It's on Raleigh Street, so it's technically an undisclosed location, but I feel like you guys
Okay.
can know. It's on Raleigh Street, so it's diagonal across the street from Burke Street Elementary, right near Destiny Church.
By Bob's.
Yeah, by Bob, 2 doors down from Bob's.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's old, but we're making it work. We're obviously long-term planning. We need a larger shelter, clearly, but for now, we're trying to make the one work that we have, and it needs a lot of repairs and maintenance, kind of ongoing, but then also at random times. For example, it won't surprise you. What do you think the current problem is, given that it's been 0 degrees? Pipes burst. Not only did they freeze, they burst. 8 of them. 8 of
Wow.
them. Yeah, I know. It's the currently. So we had to turn off the water and evacuate yesterday, meaning we had to, in a matter of 2 hours, find places for 16 people. And it's not as easy as they could just go to the cold weather shelter, because we have to take into account the abuser. Where are they going to be during the day, right? It's not always safe for them to just be out. So through a lot of community help, by the way, so many people stepped up to help us. Everybody is safe and the work will be done. But this is just one example of the stuff that pops up at the shelter quite frequently. We had to put in a new heating system 2 years ago. We had to remodel the kitchen 2 years before that. So it is chronic. And we have seen a decrease in our overall fiscal budget. That is from federal grants either going away or decreasing. And even before that, we had been stagnant. So we had sat stagnant for 5 years in our budget. So we're trying, and of course, as you all know, everything costs more. So we're trying to do the same work with less money, and everything costs more money. So it's becoming very difficult to keep up with everything, including just the basic maintenance needs of the building. So that's what the request is for this year. Just ongoing maintenance. Currently pipes, but I'm sure it'll be something else in 3 months. Questions? I can go on about services if you want, but I didn't know how much you already knew.
And what's your total budget?
For the fiscal year, 1.7 million.
1.7.
Our largest grants are VOCA, which the state supplements. You probably remember that. I think you were still there when that
Yeah.
started. So it's federal and state split. And then we do have a state line item, and we do have 2 state line items, one for DV, one for SA. So those are divided among all of the programs in the state. So for us, it's about, between all the state money together, is about 600,000. And then the rest is federal or local community, like we get United Way.
Do you not get any state SASP money? It's all federal?
We get state SASP.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep, that's the sexual assault line item.
Yeah, okay. I just saw that it said federal, but I figured there was some state money for that too. Because I remember us trying to increase that.
You did increase it.
We did.
Yeah,
I
from
remember that.
750 to 2 million.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the difference, and I think I can answer my own question here, but I'd like to hear it from you. What is the difference between you guys and Bethany House?
It's a great question. So they serve homeless women and children.
Mhm.
We serve women and children. We actually can serve men as well. So we serve men, women, and children who are fleeing domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, or human trafficking.
Mhm.
So
What
the
is-
shelter is people who are fleeing, not people who
Yeah.
are homeless.
But the majority are female.
The majority are female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your average length of stay?
Between 2 to 4 months. It used to be closer to 6 weeks, but it's been harder to get
Yeah.
people stabilized.
Mm-hmm.
And we
you
do
guys-
also,
And you guys help them with the next step. I'm sure you work with like Telemon and all the other agencies that try to help them with the next step to get into some type of housing.
yes, so we work with Telemon and the Homeless Coalition, but we also have a HUD grant that we have 6 rapid rehousing units that we pay for and manage.
Cool.
And that wait list is technically statewide because that's how they calculate housing wait lists, but it's at least 5 pages of a spreadsheet. It's very long.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's 3 times many more people out there needing the services you provide than what you're able to offer, so.
Yeah, and we don't turn anyone away. So even if the shelter is full, they don't not get any services. We do have case managers that have case management stacks of 150 clients. So they're not getting great case management. You can't do great case management with 150 people at one time. But we're basically just trying to like prevent death is the common goal. We're going to do what we can to intervene in this crisis and prevent it from A, getting worse, or B, someone getting more hurt. And we work really closely with like the magistrates. We love Magistrate Scholl. I always say he's my adopted grandpa.
He's a good man.
Love him. Oh my God. I love him. So we work really closely with him. He helps a lot.
So besides yourself and Bethany House, so you guys are, mostly your clientele is women and children.
Yep.
The rescue mission is more geared towards men. And you guys receive federal and state money. Bethany House receives federal and state money. Rescue mission is completely self-funded through some of their operations. Is there ever, and we also, you know, we have some of our drug rehab facilities too that have in-home facilities and stuff too. Is there any communications about merging, about trying to build a bigger coalition for a bigger chunk of money for a big one?
Like
larger,
one housing.
like
yeah.
one large facility where we could house more people, but maybe have one section of that housing could be for battered women and the other section could be for women who are just homeless, and then, you know, and also have the transitional housing and stuff like that. Is there any?
Yeah, we would definitely. I don't know that we've ever talked about it. United Way got all of the housing providers together early in the year. Well, I guess early last year, to do like a housing summit to start to address this problem. So the talk has begun about how do we do this collaboratively. But when the Bethany House, I don't know if you probably remember, but when they were in some trouble with a state grant a few years ago, they almost didn't get it or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't, and then he was able to get some of it restored.
Yeah, we reached out to them then to see if they wanted us to help in any way.
Someone changed the process on them and didn't tell them.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it was pretty horrible. It was scary. We had, because some of their people stop by to, like, you know, get a brochure for their friend or something. We interact with them, and they were saying how scary it was. Yeah.
Because obviously you guys need an updated and larger facility. Obviously they need an updated and larger facility. It would be nice if we could work on a local and state level and municipal level to try to get a newer, larger facility. You know, that would be my hopes in the future.
I agree. I think it's a great idea.
We could pool assets and
fundraising efforts.
Sure. And I know the city's a team player. The county wants to be a team player.
State has always supported our work.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in.
What happens to the other 47 people on the waiting list? What are they doing?
So some of them are staying with like family, if they have safe family. Some of them are couch hopping. Some of them are in hotels. We don't have any hotel funds right now, but sometimes Telemon does, or the Homeless Coalition, churches will help them. But some of them are still in the abusive home while we work to get them out.
Another question on the human trafficking side of it. I think it's more prevalent than what the general public understands.
I agree.
What kind of percentage are we talking about of your
So
clients?
last year we served 170 victims of human trafficking, most sex trafficking, some labor.
Really?
Most women, most in their mid, 20 to 40, and most knew the offender. So they were either in an intimate relationship with them before, or they knew them, either that's how they got their substances, or that's how who babysits their kids lives down the street. Like, they somehow knew them. And most of them were from here.
Really?
A few cases of foreign-born, but most people that we serve, that's a unique characteristic of Appalachian trafficking that we're noticing, because we actually house the coordinator of the Human Trafficking Task Force. She works for EPIC, but the task force is housed in the U.S. Attorney's Office, so it's statewide. And the task force this past year has actually slowly started to realize that we see more victims from West Virginia that are being trafficked than people out of the country or out of the state even, than other states do. Like, we're unique in that, because a lot of people, I guess because we don't have a lot of foreigners visiting the area, we do have interstates, which makes us unique.
81,
yeah,
obviously.
but especially middle of West Virginia, they're really just seeing it in West Virginians.
Do you receive any funds federally or state that are dedicated to just trafficking?
No, but you're going to find this so fun. I had a meeting yesterday with the Fusion Center, because we're working with them to write a statewide grant for the task force, and it would fund law enforcement, prosecution, and victim services.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah, that's
just for human trafficking.
Yeah,
It's
and
an
I was
OVC
thinking
grant.
that that's a direction that I think that there probably would be some funding available federally and state. So,
Yeah, the feds just released like 7
yeah.
human trafficking grants. So we're looking at that one. And then Epic uniquely is looking at just the service one, just
Yeah.
providing victim services.
Mm-hmm.
Does have some housing money in it.
Sure, sure. Okay.
Yeah. But we were just talking about that yesterday. I just got an email from the Fusion Center before I got here.
Mhm.
Any other questions I can
You,
answer?
you obviously serve a tremendous role here in our community to try to help people, and I'm sure we'll do what we can to support your request if we can do it. And I wish there was a lot more, because we recognize very much that the homeless, especially for females, is really a bad situation here in our community, and we really appreciate what you do for us.
Did we fund you guys last year
Yes.
at the 25,000?
No, it was like 5, I think.
Okay.
5 to 6. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for considering it. And again, if any of you ever want to stop by and look at the shelter, just shoot me an email or call us. Happy to schedule a tour. That we just warn the victims that you're coming, and we tell them they don't have to come out of their room if they don't want to. So that's how we keep them safe.
You got a good plumber?
We have a good plumber, so we're using Penwells.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great. And then Eddie Barkdahl from Diversified Home Services is our long-term contractor, and he can never leave because
Good.
he is great. Yeah.
Oh, good.
But yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here. We
Of course.
appreciate it. And,
Thanks for having us.
again,
Oh,
we
this is
thank you.
Isabella.
Yeah.
She's our MSW intern.
And what's that mean?
She is interning while she's getting her master's in social work degree.
And where? From
Where
where?
are you getting yours? Denver University. Yeah, we have 2. One of them's Liberty University.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for having
Katie,
me.
thank you, and thank you to your staff. Please thank them
I
for
will.
all your hard work and everything that you guys do for our community. I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it's being recognized, and you guys serve a very underserved population and a very vulnerable population. Thank you very much to you and your staff.
Of course, I will put it in the chat when I get back to the office. Send it, and it's nice to not have to drive through Narnia to see you.
Yes.
I have to take 68. this
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Mr. Jack Lang, are you ready to present your budget, sir?
Oh,
Well,
I got.
Are you doing for the whole year or just till June? That's the question.
I got some tough questions too. I mean, tough questions.
This budget doesn't even start till July 1, so I don't know why you're even worried about it, are you?
What we got left.
So no funding. Yeah.
No, good afternoon, how you guys doing?
Good.
Good, Jack. Thanks
Feels
for your
pretty
hard work
nice.
during this.
Yeah.
Jack, thank you very
You
much.
guys did an incredible job
Your
on the
entire
snow
crew.
removal.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did, they answered the phone and, they stay and I was in touch with Gary and stuff and.
Brutal, wasn't it?
It was, then when it started sleeting, I said, Gary, we gotta get out of here. I said, it's easier to get rid of this ice and stuff with snow underneath of it.
Yeah.
So then he
Yeah.
texted me back and said we was gonna be closed on Monday, which helped. So then I got
Yeah.
to call in Brian Dorsey's back up and,
Well, it's the best thing. I mean, he pulled us about closing, and that, yeah, absolutely, the best thing to do is not have anybody here. You have to work around being
Exactly,
able to
right.
do your
Yeah.
job, you
And you're right, it's
know?
best to have that snow on the ground first to try to get rid of
Yes.
that ice.
yes, that's what I
Yeah.
did. I come in on
It
Saturday. I
made,
guess
it made a
was-
crust on top of that snow, though, a
Yes.
couple inches
and
deep.
you don't take that off,
Mhm.
especially when it's
Brutal.
0 or however cold it was, it's there to stay. But
Yeah.
But I got lucky. I come in on Saturday afternoon. I had Miss Pope type up some letters about people parked their cars in the neighborhood along Raleigh Street and Sheriff's Department. So I put a little note on, so please don't park there over the weekend. Knock on wood, all of them moved.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I didn't have to tow nobody. I didn't have to worry about running in the middle of the night and hit nobody, so it all worked out good. So
Are you guys, does the city do Stevens Street there between the buildings?
they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So-
The sheriff was complaining that he noticed that the police officer parking space was still full, and he could, are y'all trying to tell me something, is what he said.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I was talking to Laura Nine yesterday, of course, her husband's Trooper Nine, and
yeah,
he was kind of envy of how our sheriff department parking lot looked compared to their state police
I bet.
parking lot. He said it was still nothing but a sheet of ice, so he was kind of, Laura was kind of venting out that how he was venting that they can't even get snow removal at sheriff department or the state
State
police.
police,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so.
But, I'll make it short and sweet. Kind of give you a rundown of what we're doing. We've done a total of 1,560 work orders, from January to January. We stay up on the monthly fire extinguisher checks, the changing of the air filters. One of the big things we done was we cleaned up the impound lot down at 911. We got rid of a bunch of dumpsters, we cut brush out. You gained another acre and a half of ground down there, so got that cleaned up. And then on the other side, they're kind of behind the school. There was a couple containers, we got that hauled out to 750 Baltimore Street. Some other debris and stuff we just hauled to the dump, got rid of it, got that side cleaned up and mowable. Worked on some plumbing stuff for Nick Deal at the airport. He had a plumbing issue or time or two, and we went out there and we worked on a couple ambulance stations and stuff and done a couple of things here and there for them. Of course, the big thing was with the completion of the health department down there. All that kind of stuff, and got it over, said and done. We're painting courtrooms.
Senior Center appreciated Charles' effort over there, believe me.
Yes, Amy is
Yeah.
very appreciative of everything we do for her.
Yes. Yeah, he's gonna be missed by a lot of people here come June, I can tell you that.
Well, appreciate that. As of right now, we're painting courtrooms at Judicial Center. Some of them ain't been painted, like especially in the family court side, they've been painted in a while. And, we poured concrete, now we got a building up for the sheriff's incinerator. We're waiting on a little bit better weather to go in there and work on that. That's like working in a walk-in freezer right now, that metal building. And of course, then at 750, we built a room for the museum committee, store everything inside that they have. So that's just some of the things we're doing, in a nutshell.
Is there any space left over there, Jack?
Some, yes, some. I've told the guys, I don't know what the county would have done if they didn't have Baltimore Street. With, of course, it worked out good with,
Well, somebody asked me a
Central
question the other day about it, and I said, well, it's almost full, to be
Almost
honest
full,
with you.
yes.
And they said, well, is it out of the floodplain where all this stuff is stored? And I said, well,
most of it.
that was my response, most of it is, so
The worst thing would
it's
be,
been elevated to stay out of the floodplain.
right, it would be central garage, and out there's the cars, most of them could be driven out there if they had to.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, again, the water's been to the doors, but it hasn't been in the building
Yeah.
at this time, so. Right now, you go out there and go ice skating probably on the little creek, it's pretty hard. But,
Well, we had the extension service in last week with their request. and They love their new offices.
they
out
do.
there.
Yes.
They are just thrilled and
Yes.
thank us all the time about it, so it turned out really nice for them.
it did, and I guess,
When we almost got rid of that building.
yes. But, everything else seemed to be on the up and up, and everything's working good. Of course, Gary and Chad played a big role with getting stuff done. If I got a problem or question, they find me an answer, or way to go about it, so. As you can see through the budget, I didn't really change anything as far as the amount. The only thing I did was I took $5,000 from 459 capital outlay and equipment, and we moved it down to 341 for supplies and material. We're in pretty good shape on equipment and stuff. Of course, I keep telling Gary we need a tractor cab with a snow blower on the front, or somebody with a tool cat or something like that to move snow with. So,
I tell you what, it'll move the snow.
I'm sure. I sent him a picture of a stand-on Skag little loader that day, the 40-inch bucket, and I got an emoji with a smiley face and eyes rolling back and forth. So I think that was a no. So, but any questions?
No, I just think somebody punched the wrong button.
Yeah, you got $6,001 in the,
Yeah, that was last year.
No,
20,
on the top part, they're the same amounts, but on last year, last year was 677,053. This year it says 676,053. But I used a calculator, and the correct number is 677,053. So
so we're all
somebody just hit the wrong button
It's
there.
probably a formula error on the holiday pay. That's probably what it is.
Okay. Yeah, because I got you.
How big's your staff, Jack? How many people do you actually?
There's 7 of us.
7.
Yes. As long as Mr. Boback transferred over to home confinement. Just there beginning of the year.
That position's open to be hired in the
And
future.
I say, is it gonna be filled
Yeah.
in? some point. So
Yes,
that position was included in this budget then?
Yes.
It's included?
Yeah,
in
the
it
open
to
position
hire
is
that
included.
person.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
always.
you feel it's working at that level?
yes, it is, it is. Got young Mr. Austin Stevens kind of took over Steve's role with, Steve was really, really good with upkeep of grounds, did all the mowing, trimming, weed whacking, and sprayed the lakeside waterway. And we had it kept up really, really good.
He
Of
never
course, I put
stopped.
Austin with him this summer. I said, well, what if something happens to Steve? Steve changed jobs. Steve takes vacation. We still got to mow. Somebody's got to know where it all goes. Where they go Morgan Cabin and just the little parks and stuff around. So Austin's kind of taking that under his wing and doing that now. How busy he'll be able to keep up by himself when spring comes and grass is growing and stuff might be a different story. Might have to take somebody else with him, but time will tell with that.
Well, I think when spring comes, Jack will probably be looking to fill that open position you got. So.
Right. I kind of feel right now, I think we're good.
And do you ever use part-time people, like seasonal people or anything?
No, but I
Never
have,
have, but,
I have had a good bit of help from community service.
yeah. Yeah.
With different things, not so much for snow removal, but if we got 100 boxes we need moved from point A to point B, I tell the boys and they got 2 or 3, 4 people, they'll bring them over and we'll put one of our guys with them with access. And that works really, really well with that, so. But there's been a lot of people that have needed help through somebody. It's like the other day, I kind of needed help with the snow removal, so I run into Phil Pissnagel. And I said, what do you got to do today? He said, Jackie, what do you need? I said, you got anything over here to move snow with? Well, she's right across from Baltimore Street. And he said, yeah, I got a skid loader in there. I said, any way you can plow Baltimore Street. I said, we didn't get it on yesterday. I said, it's going to be done. Sure. So Mr. Pissnagel helped me out and plow Baltimore Street for me with a skid loader. So
He's a good man.
he is. He's bailed me out a couple times with different things. Needed something picked up. He's brought over petty bones. We've stored some HVAC stuff for the library and stuff like that in the shop. And he's brought over petty bones and got in the building for us. And big help to me. So, any other questions or anything?
Sir, I'm good.
We just appreciate what you do for our county, Jack. It's unbelievable, your staff, and thank them on
I'll
our
do that.
behalf. The job y'all did on this snow thing was awesome, but you do it year round. And I know sometimes you feel like you probably get taken for granted, but we do appreciate you
Well, I appreciate that. But
and everything y'all do, believe me.
the worst thing with snow is, you know how right the weatherman always is.
Yeah.
When's it going to start? You're
Yeah.
waiting.
But normally it warms up a day or two after these snows, but not this time it didn't.
No.
It's a little different.
We had a little bit of warming on Monday. Once we had everything clear, it kind of went away a
Yeah.
little bit on Monday afternoon. Enough
Yeah,
to-
and then that went away and it was gone. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's another question. There's one other thing I'd like to read. I was going to ask Chad if I could do this, and I didn't get to do this. So I'll get through this. I'm writing to formally my intention to retire from the position as facility director of the Berkeley County Commission. My last day of work will be June 1, 2026. During my tenure at the county, I greatly appreciated but we don't do this. The opportunities I've had to grow professionally and work with such a dedicated team, especially proud of being able to go from facilities worker to director of department. I'm committed to ensuring the smooth transaction of final weeks and happy to assist with training my replacement document and responsibilities and completing outstanding tasks. Please let me know how I can best support this process. Thank you for your leadership, support throughout my tenure. I wish the county all the best.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
I will be happy that day.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, sir.
All right, I got warmed up for you.
Well, Jack, I'll just go ahead and say we'll cure this. We just won't accept the letter. So you
Commission's direction, I just ripped that.
Rip that.
Just
Yep.
rip that up.
Yep. We got a shredder over there, so just Don't think you're going anywhere. But we'll let you have fun.
Maybe I'm looking.
Yeah, we'll let you have fun for a while.
See you, sir.
We'll call you back during the snow and I'll make sure you get that tool cat with the snow. blower.
Jackson, he'll make sure he spoons off when it snows.
I was telling boys, I said, they need a new guy now. They said, why? I said, so he can make the call when to come in or when not to come in.
You guys want to bring Kara on up, or you're
Mhm.
ready to go?
She's ready,
You're
yeah.
Still good?
Yep.
Kara, you ready? I know you're about 18 minutes early, but we don't have anything better else to do, so we'd love to hear from you. And welcome you to being here. Thank you.
Well, Karen Young, she's on her way here. I wanted to formally introduce her as our Chief Financial Officer. I'm sure you guys remember Karen.
Mhm.
And we've been blessed to have her since November to work with us. So she does the financial piece. Of course, she's just becoming familiar with the budget. And Bill has 100% stepped away from the
He's
role.
retired officially now,
He's
right?
officially
Yeah.
retired. So, and it's hard to
Okay.
believe April will be 2 years that I've been in this position. So
Is that right?
it's hard to believe. So a year of working alongside him and then more time working beside him because it was hard to actually find someone to do the financial piece. So, but first and foremost, this is, of course, my first time doing this. I'm normally the ride along and Bill did all the talking. So hopefully I'll do justice just in time. But I want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak to you all and present the budget request for 2027. What I want to do is start out by just sharing with you all a little bit about the obstacles that we're facing as a health department, and of course, public health in general has been taking a hit over time. So the majority of our funding for the health department comes from state and local agencies, and that only can increase as we increase in our numbers and our census and the number of businesses that come into the county. This legislative year, there's a couple of things that we're up against, one of which is a 3% increase with PEIA. So that increase for us, one of the things that we do is we provide 100% employer-paid benefits, and we feel that that is a great perk. And we want to be able to continue to have that. That being said, for us, we spend over $181,000 annually to be able to do that for our staff. And so that 3% equates to about $5,500. Also, on the legislative docket this year is a potential 2% cut to our state aid. 2% may not sound like a lot. Our current level of funding for fiscal year 26 was 1.3 million, and this reduction for fiscal year 27 is estimated about $40,215. So still pretty significant in the scheme of things of what we want to be able to do as a health department. Recently, our Board of Health, who has always been great and accommodating, recently approved an additional sanitarian position for us, which we needed obviously because of the growth. We're just busting at the seams here in Berkeley County. And doing this was a risk for them, considering the two things that I just mentioned, loss of funds. But they deemed it necessary due to something that recently came into fruition. Sorry. The state, for as long as I've been involved in public health, kind of let us do our own thing, which is good and bad. But now they've decided that they want to be involved, and that's good and fine. But they are now tying our funding to compliance within our departments, being our EPI, our nursing, our threat prep, and our environmental. So while the first three, we have no issues meeting state mandated standards, our environmental department struggles because you know, we have so many businesses that were required, and I still say we, even though it's not me anymore, that are required to be inspected. And so when I say they're tying it to compliance, restaurants, for instance, are supposed to be inspected every 6 months. So we have about 700 plus just in Berkeley County. So if you have to inspect them twice, that's 1,400. Last year, we had 3 sanitarians to cover that and every other program they do, which of course they're responsible for, as you know, numerous other programs. Septic and well takes up a lot of their time. So it's more than just food. For us to be in compliance is almost impossible. We have been able to hire some staff, but we needed to create that other position. And creating that position was a $80,000 increase with is inclusive of salary and benefits. So that was something, like I said, the board went out on a limb for. But if we do not become compliant, they're going to take our money. So how can we do more if you're going to take that from us? So it's kind of a double-edged sword, and we're trying to figure out just what we're going to do. And the problem is we hire somebody, but it takes a year for them to be trained. And I know with some of you, I probably have discussed this, a year for a sanitarian to actually be full-fledged and be able to help with compliance, because they cannot go out on their own. So as I mentioned, we've hired several new, but they're not going to be able to really help with these numbers for some time. I know we've talked in the past that a lot of our pay is still funded by grants, and that's still the case. Over the last year, we lost our Radon grant, which we really enjoyed having, you know, for the home show and being able to give those out. And we lost around $80,000 of our immunization grant. And now we're left to try to figure out what we're going to do without those funds. Another substantial grant that we're losing is infrastructure grant that had been used for the last 3 years for employee retention. And it was set up to kind of credit employees based on their years of tenure. And it carried an annual cost of $221,000. And obviously, we're not going to be able to continue that because we can't make up that deficit. So when you look at that, what that means is come July 1, when the grant ends, many of the employees that have worked there a long period of time are going to lose up to 30% of their pay. And that's a big chunk of change. So there's kind of, we're looking at some other options, but right now we don't have the extra funds to be able to kind of drop that down based upon their tenure. So the ones that have been there the longest are going to get hurt the most out of that loss. And so we're concerned about losing staff, obviously. Jack mentioned our expansion. It's beautiful. We love it, but it also comes with extra cost, and we've seen an increase of about 30% utility cost. Not that we would take that back for any reason, but just something else that we're looking at. So in looking at the budget that was provided to you all in the read ahead, a few things I just want to mention. You know, while we do have a sizable amount in our checking account, it's important to remember that a lot of those funds that are in there, you know, it's big numbers, but at least 75% of those funds are allocated to short and long-term liability cost. They have to be there in reserve, compensated leave liability, so we can't really do anything with those. And of course, the large portion of our budget, the annual budget of $3,161,766, 67% of that pays the staff that we have between Berkeley and Morgan County. So, which is 22.5 full-time equivalent. So, in closing, respectfully at this time, we are requesting $140,000 for our annual allotment for direct funds payable to the Board of Health. As always, just want to say, without your confidence in our abilities and support for our department, we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we were able to do for our community that continues to grow and grow. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here. Our leadership team that we have is a great team, and we've set a lot of goals for the upcoming year. And of course, any monetary support that you all would be willing to provide would be most helpful. And I thank you all for your time and your considerations. And if you have any questions.
Here, it looks like we funded you at 80,000 last year.
Yes.
Okay. The radon grant, did that just go away or was it awarded someplace else?
It just went away. We did put in for that. Of course, that was one of the last grants that Bill worked on. And I am not quite sure why we weren't a recipient, if anyone was a recipient of it. But I would like to still be able to, of course, purchase those test kits and be able to provide them because it's a big deal. And, you know, like I said, there's so many people that still don't realize the risk of radon. So, you know, we've lost it for a couple years in the past, and then we were able to get it back.
Well, it was, yeah, I mean, I worked with Bill on that very closely, and that went away because, and they were awarding it to counties that didn't have radon.
Right.
I mean, because the application process changed and we weren't, I mean, I just had the same discussion with what happened at Bethany House. I mean, they changed the rules and told no one.
Right.
And then that grant went to a county that doesn't even have radon.
Yeah, which makes
So,
no sense.
Yeah, so it's then in the Office of Radon Mitigation for the state, does that still exist?
It does still
And
exist.
so the office still exists, but do they not have any grant money anymore? I don't know if the governor cut that program.
I am
or-
not sure if it was entirely cut. Like I said, I just was told, of course, like I said, and closing bill is like, well, the radon grant didn't get renewed, and you know, this is what you have to finish out, because we only have about 200 test kits that we're trying to conserve. And of course, last month was radon month, and I was trying to get that information out there for people to still come get kits. But when that's gone, unless we purchase additional, of course, we're going to keep trying each year for it. So we're not going to stop. But I'm not exactly sure the reasons behind why it wasn't awarded. I would say if they put the grant out there, someone was awarded money, or they wouldn't have had it to begin with.
Yeah, maybe we should reach out to Senator Barrett and reach
Yeah.
out to Delegate Hornby and
Sure.
Height and see if they can look into that, because obviously, you know, other people get their fingers in the pie.
Right.
And that's what happened to Bethany House, and that money went someplace else, and we had to fight to get it back. And the same thing that happened with the radon grant when Berkeley lost it and it went
Right.
someplace else. So,
Yeah. Just probably needs some further looking into, just to
Yeah,
kinda
is
see.
it not true that it's more prevalent to have radon here in our panhandle than
it's the
anywhere
only,
else in
it's
the
the only,
state?
it's the only thing that we
Than
have.
anywhere else
We
in the
don't have
state.
natural
Yeah.
gas, we don't have fracking, we don't have oil, we don't have coal, we have radon. That's what we have here. And most of the other
So-
parts of West Virginia do not have radon.
Right.
It's the eastern panhandle, and it flows down through Pendleton. Winchester has very high amounts of it. It's karst topography. It's, you know, it's decaying uranium is what it is. And we're the only part of the state that has it.
And, you know, it gets into the cracks of your, you know, your foundation.
Very dangerous. It's
It
very,
is.
it's very dangerous. And we have in our codes, we have a requirement for a radon ventilation, but it's a non-active system. And typically when people test for radon, it becomes, you know, a very small amount. I think
4,
4 is the number. My mother's house tested 73,
right.
and it's not supposed to be above 4. Like my house tested like 12. You know, so you put a fan in, it actively draws a vacuum under your cement slab, and it's very dangerous. And you know, you look into this and you want to see if a grant's going to, like, you know, some county that doesn't even have it. That just
Second
infuriates
leading
me.
cause of lung cancer.
Correct, and that's why we always ask, you know, homeowners, do you smoke in the house? Because if you're smoking in the house and you have
Yeah.
radon,
Yeah.
you're getting a double whammy.
And I know there's plenty of other things that we need to work
Right.
on too, but just when I
But
hear
that's
that,
an important one.
yeah, it does.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, what's the other grant you lost, you, when you mentioned about radon?
Well, we lost the radon, we lost 80,000 of our immunization grant. And then we also are losing infrastructure grant, which was allotted to us 3 years ago, which we used for retention at that point in time. And our Board of Health voted to, what that does is it gives a staff member 3 years for every year of tenure that they have, so with the max of 10 years. So anyone that's worked there longer than 10 years was getting 30% from this grant, which is great, until the grant's gone. And so I've been trying to talk to to our Board of Health, you know, how can we kind of stagger that down? Because even though staff were aware that the grant was good for 3 years, let's face it, when you're getting up to 30,000 or 30% more of your pay, for a while you can probably bank it away, but things have changed over 3 years. So, I was kind of talking to staff, making sure they knew what they were going to be losing, and some of them said that they were able to put it away for 2 years, and on year 3 they had to use it. So, it's going to be a big chunk of change that a lot of individuals are going to feel that, and realistically, it's what they should be making anyway for the area that we live in. But yeah, so
But your salaries are controlled by the state, correct?
they are.
Yeah.
So if locality pay would pass and you guys, would you guys be part of that?
Yes,
hopeful?
if somehow they could help support it. I mean, we definitely have wanted locality pay forever.
They should qualify.
It's got a good chance this year, but I don't
I
know
hope
who all's
so.
gonna be, they may carve out there could be carve outs in it.
I mean, I really want to talk to Jason Baird, of course, some more about, pushing for that, because we've won that
Yeah.
for years, because
Well, Mike Hite's running the bill in the House,
okay.
so if it gets through the House, if it gets through the House, then we'll advance the challenge to the Senate. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, because like I said, we lose people, great people look how close we are to everything. You get that great training that we provide for a year, and then you go to Washington County, or you go Loudoun County, and you make $20,000-$30,000 more. So it's scary. I mean, hopefully we won't lose staff, because like I said, the ones that are going to stand to lose the most are the tenured staff, and they're not really in it for the money. They're in it because they love public health, or they wouldn't have been in it as long as they have been. So, but yeah, there's no way we can come up with $221,000 for each year, and so.
Are y'all considered then a state employee?
They're
In a
a-
sense?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
They're a mix.
because
Yeah, we're
It's like,
not sure what we
They're
are.
quasi- Well, state and
yeah,
county.
it's like whoever wants to claim you at this point in
Correct.
time, or whatever the issue is, but
Yes,
I guess though with PEIA, you're protected there, because a lot of outside agencies are in real trouble of losing
Right.
PEIA totally,
right.
and they don't know what they're gonna do, but
Yeah, and we've been
in
really
your case,
fortunate.
y'all should be safe there, I would think.
Yes, and to,
Um,
for people to be able to provide that, even though the pay may not be what they want it to be, just knowing that, that's being paid for is, really important.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's just, like I said, a couple of the things that we're up against each year. It's, a few more, but we just keep on. So, does anyone have any other questions?
Your entourage is here.
They came, yeah. See, well, we got started. I told them about that. Yes. So Karen, of course, and April.
first.
Yes. So I don't know what you missed, because I was not going to turn around and look, but we're very happy to have Karen. She is very thorough, and she's learning everything there is to tell me about all the numbers. So those two ladies are the number people. I am not. So, but. Anyway, I thank you all again for your time, and I'll definitely look into checking with Jason about the legalities of why that we didn't get that. So, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Karen.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. We got take a break. We got 20 minutes until Shelley's on, so we can take a little break, I would think. Want to do that? Let's take a little 10-minute break here. We'll be back. Okay, we're back in session, and we're honored to have the Honorable Michelle Shopper, her circuit clerk, present her budget presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thank you for being here.
We really are not asking for any increase. We stay well within our budget, and you will notice that between the contractual and commodities, that it's around $44,000 that we do request in addition to the salaries for our staff with the circuit clerk's office. And again, we do stay within budget, well within budget. The funds are there for us when the opportunities arise for any additional training and education. We try to take advantage of that. This past year, there were a few opportunities, but they were no charge, so that worked out for us. And we were able to even have some of those opportunities brought to us within our own office. And we had visitors then from Morgan County and Jefferson County that joined us. You were gracious to, we needed to fill we had a partly funded full-time position that was open, and I came before you a few weeks ago and asked for some additional funds to fill that position. And we have hired that person, and that person started yesterday. And that seems to be going well. She came back a second day, so that's a plus. Some of the things that we would like to do this year, we do have a copy of one that we have finished, but with the old record books that we cannot destroy or don't want to destroy, we have been using a grant and then some funds for that project. So we've been working with Elizabeth on that grant program for the restoration of some of the record books, and that's kind of a goal of ours to try to do 1 to 2 a year. We don't have a whole bunch, but maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen of those to do. Everything else seems to be fine. There's always changes, as you know, in the Judicial Center, and some of you have been very gracious when you've been called to duty to serve as jurors, and we appreciate that and hope that you have a learning experience of what we do and what we do day in and day out. Are there any questions?
I have no questions.
You talked about training opportunities. Who provides the training opportunities? Does that come from the Supreme Court or?
So some of them do come from the Supreme Court. Sometimes it's outside of the Supreme Court. If it's Supreme Court and they can come to us, there's no charge to us.
Sure.
So we've been taking advantage of that. DMV started a new program last summer of how we need to report certain
Offenses.
yes.
Yeah.
And whether they're juveniles, they still are reported. So they came to us again, and we had the other 2 counties come over
For the training.
and met with everyone. So that's been helpful.
That's good.
When those records that you store, do you store them there at your place?
We have a room that's across the hall,
Okay.
and we do store.
And that's not a problem, space and all?
No,
No.
no. In
Not
fact,
yet.
No. In
I
fact,
was gonna say that, I mean,
Yeah.
can't they put them on, what do they do?
Scan 'em?
Scan them and all and do it that way at some point if it ever has to be a
But they
problem?
still have to have the hard copy.
Yeah, legally there has to be a hard
certain-
copy.
You have to
certain
have-
types of cases we can never destroy.
Ever get rid of it?
Right.
So they date back?
They're way back.
Wow.
Next time you're over.
I have to look at that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe all the way back to the year Steve was born.
That's a long time ago. 1953, by the way, to
Oh,
be
okay.
exact, so. That was a banner year, though,
62 was better.
wasn't it?
All right, Joe. Anything else?
No. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
job you do, Shelley. We appreciate you
Thank
very
you,
much.
and we do appreciate your all support.
And if you need help, please don't be afraid to ask.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate, we know you do a lot with a little, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Take a break.
We'll take another break.
Last
We're back in session. We'll finish up our business for the day. Motion to recess.
So moved.
Second.
We are in recess.